The Akoko Youth Forum, a non-partisan group in Ondo State, has urged political parties to refrain from imposing candidates on the electorate. The call was made in anticipation of the upcoming by-election to fill the vacant seat of the Akoko Northeast and Akoko Northwest federal constituency in Nigeria's House of Representatives. The seat became vacant due to the resignation of Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, now Minister for Interior. Despite the Independent National Electoral Commission not setting a date yet, political contenders are already campaigning actively for the election. The group's president, engineer Rotimi Akeredolu, emphasized the importance of allowing a fair electoral process without candidates in position, urging the parties to give everyone an opportunity to vote and to contest. The Ondo State Governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, has been told to resume office or resign so that the state can move forward. A group within the People's Democratic Party under the aegis of the PDP Forever Initiative made the call while addressing newsmen in Abuja on Friday. Akeredolu, since returning to the country in September after a 3-month medical leave in Germany, has not been seen in public. The group's national coordinator, Honorable Obande Gideon Obande, at a press conference on the Ondo State leadership vacuum, maintained that there is a provision for a deputy governor to discharge the governor's duties in an acting capacity as enshrined in law. He also prayed for the governor's quick recovery, saying his incapacitation should not affect the governance of Ondo State. But joining us on the news this afternoon is Taiwo Ojumu, who is a lawyer and political analyst, and he will give us his own take on that unfolding situation. Taiwo, thank you so very kindly for your time. What do you make of the current leadership vacuum in Ondo State due to the health condition and absence of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu?
All right, thank you very much once again for having me. I think the first thing I must say here is that, sickness, diseases are what we call acts of God. And as such, we just only hope, we pray to God that Mr. Governor, that is Rotimi Akeredolu, would recover soonest. But beyond that, the truth is, if you look at the street of Ondo State, the street of Akure in particular, where I reside, activities are going on normally, But when you go to towards the government areas, when I say government areas, I mean secretariats, you begin to feel some kind of suspense. You see people, when you see 2 or 3 people gathered discussing issues, most likely if you come close to them, you will realize that what everybody is talking about is the fact that the governor has not shown up in Ondo State, even though he has been back in the country, like we all know, since September. And then, there have been series of arguments for and against. Some have called, just like on Friday, it has been said that Mr. Governor should either resume or should hand over to his deputy, or better still, resign on ground of incapacitation. But if you look at issues objectively and in line with the Constitution, sometimes the question that would naturally come to mind would be the kind of incapacitation envisaged by the Constitution is although I'm not a medical expert, but is the state of health of Akeredolu as it stands now, is it that kind of incapacitation envisaged by the Constitution that can warrant the resignation of a governor or a deputy governor? Rumors have it, and well, maybe not rumors. I am privy to some information that governor has not been altogether. He has been discharging some parts of his duties, discharging in the, when I say discharging, I understand that they have been approving files. Just recently, I understand that some files were approved. Usually what they do is they carry those files to Ibadan, where it is approved. But if you also look at it objectively, one would argue that ordinarily you are the governor of Ondo State, and you should be governing the state from the state. And so the opposition, particularly the PDP, who in recent times have been raising some eyebrows, it is well within their constitutional right to do so. Because I can tell you, just like yesterday, when Akeredolu was the NBA president, I think 2009 or so, and there was a similar situation at the federal level where late Musa Yar'Adua was ailing and he left the country. The governor of Ondo State, who was then the president of MBA, was one of the voices, foremost voices who spoke against, who emphasized the need for the deputy, the vice president then to take over. And so now that something similar is happening. Although some people have argued, like I said earlier, some people have argued that the condition of Mr. Governor, the state of health of Mr. Governor of Ondo State is not as bad as what we had during the time of Yar'Adua, that he's not permanently incapacitated as it is used in the constitution. And as such, that what is happening is not as bad, and that it's not as bad as what happened in Taraba during the time of Governor Sultai. And so that's the argument of the the APC folks. But the truth and the honest truth is that agitation for Mr. Governor to return to Ondo State, I don't think it is political. If you ask me, I think it is the right
All
thing
right.
to do. It is the constitutional to do. Yeah.
Okay, Taiwo, the PDP group that we just talked about on Friday,
Okay.
they said they're giving Governor Akeredolu 72 hours to either transmit power to his deputy or resign. That alternative ends tonight. How do you see the entire situation panning out?
Okay. Well, the thing is, I believe that the days to come would be very interesting. Interesting in the sense that we are expecting a manner of drama in the sense that because if they should make good their threats or threat in quote now, or the promise to protest. I understand that they said they will occupy the governor's office, and it's going to be very much interesting. And then I think it was alleged sometime ago, I think a few weeks ago, that the PDP folks attempted a similar protest, and they were resisted by security personnel. I think yes. And so we are looking forward to what unfolds in the coming days, beginning from tomorrow. Let's see if what happened a few weeks ago will also happen. But like I said earlier, I think it's well within their constitutional right to ask Mr. Governor to come back. Like I said earlier too, we as concerned citizens of Ondo State, we can only hope and pray that Akeredolu returns home hale and hearty. When I say home, I mean Ondo State now, hale and hearty, because sickness, anybody can be sick. Sickness is an act of God, and so nobody wishes it on his enemy. So yes, the days to come promise to be very, very, very interesting and dramatic. Yeah.
There are talks of the governor having the State House of Assembly in his pocket, and hence their reluctance to take any step in direction of putting him aside. Also, how true are the statements making the rounds on social media that Akeredolu's son has been the one carrying out the governor's duties? I mean, so these are two questions. You can answer them one after the other.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start with the first question, which is the fact that Mr. Governor has the members of the House of Assembly in his pockets, like in your words. Well, the thing is that from the return of democracy in 1999, it is not very strange, especially when the ruling party has the majority of its members in the House of Assembly, or in the House of Assembly. It is not strange for there to be alliances. I don't want to use the word he has them in his pockets. I mean, even though I know that was used in a figurative sense, but yes, they are meant to be alliances. I understand that. I mean, you and I know that majority of members of the House of Assembly are APC members, and these guys are people who are are loyal to Mr. Governor. I mean, this is not peculiar to those states. It is almost in every state. As a matter of fact, even at national level, I mean, it happens too. Yes, that's the first question. So I don't think that is the case, but I also understand, we've heard that the deputy governor, Honorable Lucky Aiyedatiwa, in his own part, has begun to have some alliances. Before now, we heard that just about 3 members of the House of Assembly were in his camp, and that he has been able to get more members to his side.
All right.
And somebody said that, yeah, about 12 already on his side. But okay, moving to the other question, which is the alleged or the purported what's it called? I mean, the rumor that it is Mr. Governor's son who is in charge of the affairs of the state. But the thing is that for me, is not true. Even though we all know, if you come to Ondo State today, if you ask the man on the street, that who are the authorities, as far as Ondo State is concerned. Once they mention Mr. Governor, perhaps when they mention the deputy governor, if you mention if you count number 1 to 5, usually they will mention the name of the son of Governor Akeredolu. Well, I think the son is for me. The argument has been that the son is a very intelligent guy, very intelligent young man, and that there's nothing wrong if that as far as the guy is eligible and he has the wherewithal and the skill set to perform. But if you also look at it, it might not altogether be the best in a democracy when there are other people who are qualified. When you can't make your family cannot be the one in charge. It's not a family business as it were. But the son is also a citizen of Ondo State, and so, but I don't believe. I don't subscribe to the fact that he's the one in charge. They are allies. Mr. Governor has his own allies. He has commissioners. He has members of his cabinet who are handling different duties and responsibilities. So, yes, the son is influential, but I don't think he's in charge. I doubt that.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Taiwo. It's been a pleasure having you on the program for this very interesting conversation. We'll keep our eyes on that one because the question on the lips of everyone is where is and how is Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, and why hasn't he been seen in public if he's hale and hearty? Taiwo, Ojumu, lawyer and political analyst, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.